have Scott, otherwise known as Soup Campbell. He is the executive director of the Ashland Area YMCA. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you. I've been over here in the corner hiding.
Yes, and Scott is another Boyd County Class of '87 graduate.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think Scott and I have known each other since kindergarten.
At least.
Yeah, and Christie you were at
Seventh grade. I was Summit.
You were Summit, okay.
Summit. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yep, we all got together then.
Yep.
But all right, so so welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
We'll get kicked off here with just obviously we've introduced who you are, but can tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up? Are you married? Kids?
Yeah, I'm married. Been married 31 years. This past June, actually. Got 3 kids. Blake is 28. Peyton's 26. Ashton's 21. 2 grandkids, Henry and Harper.
Who are adorable, by the way.
Oh, they're so funny. But Henry's 7 and Harper's 5. So,
Yeah.
but my wife, she's a school teacher for Russell Middle School. Getting close to retirement.
I was gonna say, yeah, good for her.
Yeah, she could actually go after this school year, but she's going to continue on a little bit. So,
Yeah, she's one of the best science teachers. I know my kids, all 3 kids had her.
yeah, she's really good.
Yes, she was.
Yes, my wife's a teacher, and she's counting the days until retirement. So she could be retired already
Yeah.
if she hadn't married me. She says and moved here. So
So tell us a little bit more. So you grew up here, and
Grew up in Canonsburg, went to Canonsburg Elementary. Both parents are still living. Grew up in Canonsburg Heights. They're both still living there. Mother just retired from Boyd County High School in finance department. This July 1st was her first day off from retirement.
okay.
She went to work when my father retired at 48 years old. She said, "Your father will drive me crazy." But he's always moving around and active, and she stayed active. I hate to see her retire, but it's time.
It's time. They
Yeah.
go places.
They need to start traveling as well, like you were
Yeah.
talking. So
are they in the same house?
yeah,
Oh, really? They're still in the same house. Oh man, I remember
Yeah.
going over there when we were young.
yeah,
So,
same house. Yep.
Oh wow. Wow.
So, but I've got a brother. He's retiring from Marathon as a chemist end of this month, I believe. So
Very good.
I guess I'm going to be last to go.
And your sister, where is she now?
She's a Head Start director at Boyd County.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. Her daughter Cam and my youngest Meredith are very good friends.
Oh, are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a great girl.
She is for sure.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah,
Great
they've really
niece.
enjoyed her.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so all right.
so what about all right? What about a little bit about your professional background?
Professional background,
No,
graduated.
we went to ACTC. Well,
ACTC.
it's ACTC now. It was ACC back
Yeah.
then.
And then went on to Morehead State University, graduated with a computer information systems degree. Then when I graduated, started going business to business with resumes. I went all over the tri-state area. Home Federal was the first company to hire me. I was a collection agent as well. Yeah, for just mortgage loans. I did that for a while, as well as I got my certification in real estate appraising underneath Jim King.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's the one that trained me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Awesome though. I did not know that.
I was just with him this morning in Ashland Boosters, him and Mike Maynard both. But yeah, Jim was a great guy. He was very good. But we did that about 6 years, and then moved on to Pathways. I was there 26 years.
Right.
So when the YMCA position came opened, I actually worked there during college, about 6 years. Actually, I even worked there after I got out of college for about a year till my son was born. I thought, well, I don't want to miss him walking and talking, so I gave it up at that point. But that was always my passion to be back there at the YMCA. So after 26 years, God opened some doors and moved me in
Right.
that position. So been there 4 years, June 1st.
Wow.
So,
I was to say that when I think of the Y, I think of you playing basketball.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say he didn't work there; he lived there.
I know.
If he wasn't working, he was playing.
I was a professional basketball
Yeah.
player for 6 years. So
and everybody knows. Oh, Scott from the Y. That's right.
Exactly.
that's the one unique thing about the YMCA. You know, you develop a lot of relationships, a lot of connections, you know, especially back then. That was like Ryan was saying earlier, that was about all you had to do was go to the YMCA or the movies. You know, that was about it. So through all my connections and, you know, God laid out a path.
I love it when he does that.
Yeah, it was. I've got a pretty good testimony about how he brought me back there, and you know, it was very touching.
How did he bring you back there? Tell us a little bit.
I'll probably get.
It's okay. We may join you. So
So we're on a family vacation. I guess it'd be 5 years ago, about this same time frame.
Kerr Beach.
Yeah, Curry Beach. Yeah, where I saw Brent Fultz last summer.
Oh, my
In the
goodness.
pier, I was like, "What are you doing here?" He always goes there. It's his family vacation. So we made a quick trip to the beach. It was during spring break, I believe it was, and we decided to leave Saturday night instead of waiting until Sunday morning. We usually will leave Sunday morning, but we left late Saturday night, and I was driving. Everybody's asleep. It was like the Griswolds.
I was going to say, sounds like my vacation trips.
Yeah, I was getting really sleepy, but I don't know. I had been praying about the Y position for years. Every time it came open, I applied, and no interviews, nothing. It just wasn't God's time. But this time was different. You know, the gentleman that was in the director position, he's got rare disease, and I didn't know this at the time, but as I'm traveling home, it was like God spoke to me, like he was sitting there where my wife was sound asleep. He said, "I'm going to move you to the YMCA." I was like, "What?" You know, it was the most clear, audible voice I'd ever heard. And so as the next morning we got home, I told my wife, "I'm going to the Y." She said, "What?" So I go to the Y Monday morning, and I'm not going to mention names. Everybody will know him. He said, "Hey, you might want to apply for that job. I think it's going to be coming open." So, you know, of course I did. And about 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call from the board chairman, Brian Carroll at the time, and said they wanted to meet with me. And so we had a couple of meetings and interview, and, you know, that was it. God just opened the door, and, you know, and I knew he wasn't going to move me there to fail, you know. Of course, 6 months later, the shutdown happens. And you're like, what did I just do? You know, I was extremely happy with Pathways. I had a great job there. It was like my second family, you know, 26 years of employment. It was scary to leave, but I knew that's where God wanted me to go, despite the shutdown. You know, that was so scary to take over that, you know, that YMCA had been here 125 years now, 126 years this year. To take it over, yet just to get it shut down, you know. So, but God, you know, he worked things out. We became an emergency child care facility for all the, you know, emergency personnel. So we were able to keep all of our child care working. I was able to keep all the full-time folks working. Firm Fitness had closed. They had donated all their equipment to us. So during that time frame, we went and got all the equipment, brought it to the Y, kind of distributed it through the YMCA. Some of it we donated to the fire department, police department. Tri-State Rehab bought some of the pieces that we had similar to what we already had in the facility. So, but, you know, right before the shutdown, we had done a couple of events, and we were being proactive about gaining memberships. I think in the past they just sat still, and I don't know if it was just, you know, complacency. You know, we're the only shop in town. You know, there's competition now, so we started having some events, open houses, and things like that. So our membership units drove up higher than they'd been back 10 years, and then that's when the shutdown happened. So a year later, we were probably, I'm sure, the lowest point we'd ever been, probably since, 72 when that YMCA opened. But we are now at this point back where we were before the shutdown, and I feel like we're continuing to grow. I went up in the gym last night. The gymnasium was full, and it was a sunny afternoon. That usually in the past it's a ghost town in there, but the whole entire YMCA was jam packed full of kids and grown ups, and so I have to think that that's all God. It's not anything that we're doing.
No. Sounds like he put you in there knowing the shutdown was going to happen. He knew it. Knowing that shutdown was going to happen, but he put you in there at the right spot at the right time.
Oh, it was definitely perfect timing.
Right.
I questioned it. Every time they hired someone, I was ready. I mean, I know I was ready, but it wasn't God's time,
Right.
for me to be there. But he definitely put me there for that time frame. So
Wow. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
I get emotional. I'm sorry, but
Hey, listen.
God worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you mentioned a minute ago, there's a lot more competition now, and we had discussed this a little earlier,
Yeah.
especially growing up. It was
Yeah.
the only thing around.
Yeah.
How has the competition affected the Y in just different ways, not just membership?
Well, I think initially, of course, I wasn't there when some of the places have opened. I don't think the YMCA was being proactive to try to compete. We've been extremely proactive. We're trying to do things like we've gone to 24/7 access, all kinds of new things that we're doing. But there's a place for everybody. The YMCA is for kids and family. It's for single people. It's so much more unique than other facilities, and I'm not going to knock anyone. It's like a family atmosphere. If you start attending classes, you start working out regularly, you get connected with people. And if you miss, they're calling you. They're checking on you. We have a young lady named Allison Webb that works for us. She's a great instructor, high energy. She's a dental hygienist. She was in a really bad car wreck, and she almost died, should have probably died. And so she, I guess through her therapy, they got her connected at the YMCA, and people surrounded her with love and, gift cards and just welcomed her in. And she, that's kind of just one small example of what happens in there. There's an older gentleman that comes in the morning, Tom Fannin. His wife has been ill. We call and check on him at least weekly, if not twice a week. Me and some others will call him. So it's just a unique atmosphere there.
It's a ministry.
It's a ministry, absolutely. Yep. So I don't know if I answered your question fully, but
Yeah.
No, that's whatever answer that you've gotten, everything. Because
I,
give us,
I think I think those places definitely hurt the YMCA, and I think it's because we weren't being proactive. We weren't changing with the times.
Well, here's the cool part is when I bring families to town and I go do a community tour, that's one of my stops.
Yeah.
And to drive through the parking lot and say,
Yeah.
this is the YMCA and this is what they have to offer. And it's a great place for you and your kids. And
Yeah.
there's Anytime Fitness and there's all these other places, but this has got a pool.
Yeah.
And this has daycare activities and this has all the things. So,
Yeah, that's another thing that's so unique. We offer childcare while you work out. We've got a nursery for infants to 5-year-olds. We've got a fun factory. It's bigger than anything that you've seen. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. So we watch your 5 to 10-year-olds while you work out for 2 hours. So there's no excuse to not be able to get to work out.
Yeah.
If you join the Y, that's all a free service that we offer as well.
I used to use that when the
Yeah.
kids were little.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
you mentioned earlier that, obviously the Y is over 100 years old. Can you give us a little history and background of the Y? Because I know the Y, as everybody sees it today,
Yeah.
it's not the original Y. So
No, the original Y, if you're familiar with Bob Evans, that's where the original YMCA was located,
Down
1890.
on, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It was established in 1897 there. And then, there was, I guess, the board had bigger plans in 70, probably 71. They started, getting plans together to build a new YMCA where it is today. And so it opened in 72. So we've been there 51 years in the new building.
Oh, wow.
You know, I've got pictures of the old building.
Do you?
That was way before my time. But, you know, I was born in 69, so I was a young
Yeah,
with
we
you
were.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all, we still
we were
are.
Yes,
We
very
are
much
still
so.
young.
Yeah,
So-
right, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
So-
And a lot of those pictures hang in the lobby
Yeah.
there at the Y, because
Yeah.
I know as I've stood there waiting on my son sometimes, get a chance to look through them. And also getting through, and this kind of gets into the next question, but looking through the rack and what all the Y has to offer, just kind of give everybody a little background. I mean, if you go through the Y's website, we could be here for 2 hours talking about this. But if you go through the Y's website, and as I did this morning, doing a little show prep, believe it or not, it's amazing how much the Y actually offers. Not just a place to work out, but all kinds of different services and activities.
Yeah, that's what makes us unique. You know, we offer all the sporting programs, indoor, outdoor, soccer, basketball. We actually just started our first annual summer co-ed youth basketball league. We had 63 kids sign up. It's this Saturday, past Saturday was the second week of 6 weeks of that.
How many teams do you have?
Well, it's 3rd through 8th grades, so then they're kind of divided out, and I don't know the counts of each. I was on vacation when it started, so this past weekend I wasn't able to attend, so I'm going to try to be there this weekend. I do know that we had 63 kids though. So, but you know, like I said, we've got a cardio room, we've got a large weight room, we've got men's and women's health centers, and that's an area that I've been focusing on the past several months. You know, we found out that the men's health center, the women's has doubled the membership of the men's. So that tells me that women,
Really?
yeah, double, more than double.
That's amazing, because when I go into the men's, I can't find a locker anywhere anymore. So
Yeah. So, but anyway, that told me that women don't want to work out where the guys are at, you know. So we've knocked out a wall, moved lockers, and we've got a bunch of new equipment in there. We just got that in last Thursday. We've kind of got it all in place now. We're going to have some classes in there to show people how to use the equipment, because we're not just going to throw it in there and say, here you go, you know. So we've created a circuit training room out of a racquetball court, and folks have really liked that. The swim team was in there the other night practicing. I'm not sure if your son was in there, but he
Yes.
probably was, because Billy
Yeah.
Billy had them all in the floor sweating.
every Monday, Wednesday, Friday
Yeah.
morning, I drop him off at 7, and his mother picks him up, or no,
Yeah.
7:30, and his mom picks him up at 8:30. So.
Yeah. So we've got, you know, basketball courts, tracks, pickleball courts. Pickleball's played Monday through Friday.
That has become
yeah.
huge in our area.
It's taken over the world.
It
yeah.
has.
So,
Well, and I remember going to the Y. I used to go down there, and especially during the winter, because I don't like being cold.
Yeah.
Go down and run the track, and they were
Oh, the
always
track was great.
And this was 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
They were always trying to get me to go play pickleball.
Yeah.
And there
Really?
was only probably 3 or 4 people total that played pickleball at
Back
the Y
then.
anywhere in Ashland
Right.
at the
Yeah.
time.
there'll
So-
be 35 to 40 people in there on rainy days in the winter. You know, summertime they'll go outside a little bit, but we still usually have a couple of courts going in the summertime.
Yeah, because I think now you look, I mean, the Central Park courts now, they've converted half them to pickleball courts, and
Ashland Tennis Center
Yeah,
also
I was
that
gonna
way.
say-
They've been converted.
yeah, tennis centers converted some. So
I was talking to George Arnold the other day. He said insurance rates are going up because older people are starting to play pickleball and they're getting hurt. It's like, I'm staying away from that court. But
yeah, I was going to say,
so
I was
funny.
looking at, one of the local magazines did an article on pickleball, on how it's exploding and things. And the youngest person that I saw in that ad was Sam Prince.
Sam Prince?
Yeah.
okay,
And Sam's probably 3-4 years younger than we are.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, because I think she graduated with your sister, didn't she?
She did.
She
yeah.
graduated with Stephanie.
She did. Yeah.
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 That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So what else? What things?
What we've been focusing on, we're
Yeah.
doing a lot of personal training, like sports trainings. You know, we had our first football camp ever. Jermaine Keys, he went to KCU. I think he was on the New York Giants practice squad. So he's doing actually, small groups or private lessons with speed, agility, and football. And then we're doing a lot of basketball trainings. We're doing kids dance, all kinds of different things. We're constantly looking to do different things to reach other ages and age groups.
Now, is this just conditioning training, or do they get into skills and?
They'll do whatever you want them to do. They're Maxwell Hunter's one of them. Played for Boyd County. Clarence Thompson coaches at Fairview High School is training. Darnell Lyseth, he played basketball at Portsmouth, and so those guys are really doing good with these kids. And Max Hunter has a basketball camp every summer, and he has about 60 kids usually attend. I think that's what we have.
He's a young man too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really great with kids.
Yeah.
That's what I love about our trainers, personal trainers. They're all great with people, great with individuals. Our instructors are just fantastic right now too.
Talk to me about personal training, because that's something that I like. I love personal training just because of the person's able to focus on you.
Yeah.
But I've not been able to get into a personal trainer in a while. How does that work? What are the payments like? How does that come about?
What you can do is you go to the front desk. I actually brought a brochure here for you. I'll leave it with you. But
okay, good.
We've got a number of personal trainers, and they all kind of focus on different things. Zach Adkins, he's actually working on his nutrition degree at Morehead State University.
He's so cute. I've seen him before.
He's just a great person. He'll focus on nutrition. He'll focus on, if you want to lift for definition or bulk, and so they're all kind of got their own little areas.
Okay.
And so you just contact the front desk or, and get their phone number. We let you schedule it with them because it's their schedule,
Right.
and you'll pay at the front desk.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say when it comes to the other services, that was one of the questions I had. If you've got a kid, you want to get a little work with football, agility, or basketball, is there any charge for those? Or?
Yeah, if you're going to use a personal trainer like Jermaine, there is a charge with that. Typically, it's $30 an hour, and you can do it with a buddy or groups, and so the prices are different.
Yeah, and that's a good rate because I know my brother teaches or conducts baseball classes over in Huntington, and he's not doing it for $30 an hour.
Yeah,
No.
It's much more than that.
Right. Oh, that is cool. That's great to know, though. So that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me about there's another class that I'd really gotten into and then stopped doing. I've been going out to Brown Dog Yoga in Huntington at 6 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays for about 2 years straight until Stephen looked at me and said, "You're grouchy. You need to stop this and get some sleep." So, so I listened to him. I don't usually, but I listened to him on that one. But I know you've got cycling classes, right?
Got
spin classes?
Yeah, spin classing is very popular. It's in one of the racquetball courts is converted. They turn the lights out. We've got the glow lights on the floor. The instructors are fantastic. If you go to our website, we're starting to put small video clips. You can see how some of those classes are ran and how the instructors are. It's pretty neat how we've been doing that.
That's awesome.
It gives you a little sample taste of it. Matter of fact, July 22nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to have a block party open house, and so you can tour the Y.
Okay.
We're going to have some class demos going on. Holly Forbes, which was on The Voice, she's going to do a concert for us, so that would be a good time to come check out the classes.
Okay.
If anyone would want to come take a tour or use the Y for the day, I'll give them a free pass. I would encourage you to try the spin class. That's probably one of the most popular classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Cool.
And back when I was training real heavily in distance running, and which was the last time I took yoga classes, but I dare anybody to take a yoga class.
Yeah.
I was in great shape. I mean, to me, going out and running 10 miles was just
totally different.
whatever. But I'd go to that yoga class twice a week, and I would just limp out of there.
I've never done it. I would like to. But
I am not the most limber person in the world, and I was stretching things and muscles I didn't know I had. It was the hardest physical class I've ever taken. So anybody that thinks that yoga's easy and no, I dare you.
We have a member, Dave Strader. Most people know Dave Strader.
Mm-hmm.
His son's Jason Strader, played for Ashland. He's had back issues for years and years, and he started going to yoga, and it's actually helped his back.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
My baby brother and his wife, they do yoga regularly. And he says, and he'll tell you, he's like, I've never felt better than I ever have. And he officiates a lot of different sports, football, baseball, or softball, basketball. And he just like, it makes me feel better than anything I have. He's like, makes me feel 10 years younger.
probably sleep better too, I'm sure.
You do.
Yeah.
You do, because you stretch out all those
Yeah.
cricks and things and aches and pains.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
all
really
those
probably
things.
need to start doing it again because I have a lot of cricks and pains everywhere.
Yeah.
So
One good thing, we've updated all of our cardio equipment's brand new, and then the circuit training room's brand new, and then the women's health center's brand new, and we put several new pieces of equipment in the weight room as well. So
It's all clean
yeah,
and new
the
and
floors
fresh.
we upgraded the floors, vinyl plank flooring. I think they've been down. The tile floor was down probably since '72. It looked good. It's clean, but it was time.
well, that leads right into the next question that I had. So anybody that's been to the Y in the last 12 months or so has, they've noticed there's a couple changes here and there that's gone on. So what all have you guys done to the Y? It's like 2 years ago, it was like it was in 1972.
Yeah.
Just as I remember growing up, and then all of a sudden you walk in and now it looks nothing like
It's a
it
facelift.
did. Yeah.
Well, as a member, I went there every day, twice a day. I'd work out before work, and then I'd go back for lunch to play basketball for my cardio. And that was high on my priority, was start updating, upgrading, making renovations. And then the shutdown happened. So it delayed us a year and a half to 2 years. So we still want to upgrade our locker rooms, the showers and the flooring and all that stuff, but it takes money, so we're trying to find money to do that. But we've actually renovated our 2 lobby restrooms. They're beautiful. Tri-State epoxy flooring. Dave Pennington, he's doing that business here in the area. If you can, go to his website.
Okay.
Facebook.
So Dave Pennington, and what's it called again?
Tri-State epoxy. He
Tri-State
did our
Epoxy.
2 restrooms, and it looks like a marble swirl.
Yeah, I've been in there.
Gorgeous.
I've been in there. It is gorgeous.
It's
and
gorgeous.
And it looks like he just did it over the tile that was
He
already
did it
there.
right. Yeah, he had to do some prep work, had to sand the pores where it would adhere to it, and then he painted all the walls. It's all white and bright in there. So we've got 2 more restrooms in the kind of down by the youth gym. We're going to tackle those, and then 2 upstairs, and then we'll try to then start working on the showers. That's going to be very expensive. So, but the most exciting thing I think has been the coffee doc has partnered with us there in the lobby there, so you can get your coffee or protein smoothie on the way in or on the way out.
That is nice.
Yeah, people have really enjoyed it.
So how did that come about? Because that was, I thought, a genius move.
Yeah,
And
I approached the board. I was thinking, we got that large boardroom right there in the lobby. I was like, man, Subway would be great right here. So we kind of started entertaining the idea. I met with the guys with Subway, and long story short, it just led into, why don't we do a smoothie coffee shop? And so we put it out for bid in the paper, public bid, and the coffee doc was the only ones that bid on it. I don't know if folks, people are disconnected. They don't look at the paper anymore.
No.
I don't know if that was the reason, because I think other folks might have been interested had they seen it. It was basically a copier room is what we were using that room for. So we moved the copiers down by our offices and, converted that into a coffee shop. So that's how that came to play. I've got other ideas. Once we get the health center, the workout area done, we're wanting to create some walls in there and put out for a public bid for a spa facility to come in the women's health center.
Oh.
For spray tanning, teeth whitening, whatever.
Massages.
Massages.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Very good.
So
I think
that-
we've had somebody on the podcast that might be interested in that. So.
Yeah.
Yes, we
yeah,
have.
I've spoken with several local spa facilities. And,
Yeah.
matter of fact, one was extremely excited. Actually, 2, and you please call me. I told them it'd be in the paper, but I think that'll be a great addition to that back there. You know,
Right.
maybe a barber shop down the road somewhere.
Oh, that would be nice.
So,
Is
yeah.
that what they're seeing in bigger cities and stuff, or is this unique to our
Well,
area?
I did check on Subway. There are some YMCA's. There's one in Indiana that has
Mm-hmm.
a Subway, and I did talk with the CEO there just to see the pros and cons.
Right.
And you know, I haven't really seen a lot. I know Lexington has their own little. I don't know if it's something they've created
Mm-hmm.
at the Beaumont YMCA.
Yeah.
I was there for a meeting a couple weeks, actually for the swim team.
Yeah, I was going to say I've been to most of the Ys in the state of Kentucky now, and no, we are by far. I mean, some of them are newer,
Yeah.
have newer. Well, maybe used to have newer equipment now. Now, not so much, but no, there's none
Yeah.
of them to compare to that. And I know the Beaumont, the one you're talking about, they have a little
I think it's something
cafeteria, not a
yeah.
cafeteria, but a concession stand
Yeah.
type thing that they do themselves,
Yeah.
but nothing like what Coffee Doc does over there.
Right.
Wow.
So.
I love the idea of the smoothie, especially after you work out.
Oh,
You
they've
know,
got
'cause you're needing something.
Yeah, they've got killer protein smoothies. Yeah,
Makes it-
Fruity Pebbles are probably the best.
Yeah, and
I'm telling you, it tastes just like Fruity Pebbles.
But and I mean, I know there's some mornings I'll drop Zach off, and then I've got to come back and pick him up after he gets done working out, and I just run and get coffee or whatever. And he'll come in the car and he's like, "Dad, they have coffee right there in the Y.
Yeah.
Why'd you go?" And I'm like, "I could always forget."
Yeah,
So, but no, I need
I
to
should
go
have
in
brought
there.
you a cold brew on the way over here. I didn't think about it.
But it is good, and I mean it's nice to see. But is a lot of that in response to now that you have competition, the Y needs to modernize, be more like
that's
a
just-
modern
yeah, I
gym
mean,
facility.
Ideas are just constantly going through my brain, you know, about what can we do different, and those are just things that, you know,
That's good.
and God probably placed them in my head. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to be a one-stop shop there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Coffee Doc right across the way. There's just a couple
Yeah.
booths you can sit and
Yep.
hang out after a
Yeah.
workout and just do a little socializing,
I love
fellowship.
that.
Yeah, we need more space. You know, it's a 144,000 square foot building. People don't realize how big it is till when they get in there. They're like, wow, this place is huge. You know, I would love to put another basketball court over on our side lot and really, you know, build a basketball. I want to see volleyball go in there as well. So in the wintertime, we were doing Tuesday, Thursday nights co-ed volleyball. Or I'm sorry, Saturday nights. I'm sorry. And so that's something we hadn't done in years and years and years. So
So what
Yeah.
what is the footprint then of the property you own? How many acres, or what do you have there?
I'm not sure the total acreage. The building itself is 144,000 square feet.
Okay.
It's a large parking lot.
It is.
We're getting ready to. We had to take our playground because it was just old and decrepit. The Woodlands have been very gracious and given us a couple of grants. They allowed us to repair the parking lot. That's one of the first things that I did because there were potholes the size of a bus, you know, in a couple places, because it hadn't been taken
Right.
very well care of, but maintenance-wise. But they gave us a grant to do a new fire panel, so that's just recently happened, and then a new playground. So they're coming on Saturday to replace the playground on our parking lot there. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So then that begs my question. Then I'm curious because I guess I've never even thought about it. The YMCA, is it a nonprofit then?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
how are
503C.
you all? So 503C. How are you funded?
We're not.
Okay.
That's where, you know, our only revenue source today is membership revenue, and of course, you know, we're getting a little bit at least from the Coffee Doc and things like that. But we've got about 10,000 members. We scholarship about 20% of that.
Okay.
You know, we need revenue. We don't have, you know, the big donor, the dollar donors that back, you know, years ago
Yeah.
in the 80s, they, you know, people were throwing money at the Y left and
Right.
right, but we don't have that today, unfortunately. And that's, you know, my thing is to get people in the facility and get memberships there, and not just for the number, but yeah, we need the revenue,
Right.
but we want to share the YMCA. You know,
Yeah.
it's a great place. A lot of kids are safe off the streets. You know, we provide a lot of jobs over the years. We've got 133, or I'm sorry, this last payroll we had 130 employees. People don't realize, you know, the magnitude of our employees, the count of them.
Wow.
So
How many did you say? 100?
130.
Okay.
Yeah.
133.
You know, we've got a child. We got a 4-star child care that waiting list mile long. You know, it would be a 5-star if we paid insurance. That's the only reason it's not. But we have a fantastic child care. They get swim lessons with their service. They get music lessons, and they actually teach them. They're not just sitting in there babysitting them.
It's like a preschool, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kindergarten too, or just a preschool?
Yeah. We're all the way to 1-year-olds. Yep.
Wow. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, well, one of the things I want to bring out and point out, mostly so I can go home and not have to get in trouble, is the swim program at the Y, the team
Yeah.
itself. I think that is one of the jewels of this area that
really
people
is.
don't understand how good that
club,
swim
right?
swim
It's a-
program.
it's a
yeah,
swim club.
It's
Yeah.
part of the Y program, and the quality
Mm-hmm.
of swimmers and coaching you get out of there. Billy Ray
Billy Cox.
Cox, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Billy Cox is the coach now. Kinsey Pennington, who was a swimmer there since she was little, went on to swim in college. She was coach up until a month or so ago. She did a wonderful job, and I'm going to not mention some names that I probably should just because there's so many that do there, but people don't understand. I mean, back in the 80s,
Yes.
we had 2 potential Olympians coming out of the Y. If it wasn't for the boycott, they would have been in the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And one of the reasons you go into the Y in the swim area, does anybody know why the dome's there?
Why?
Well, because they had the diving boards there, and the roof was not high enough
Oh.
for them, so they had to put that dome in so they could
Yeah.
practice and train.
Megan Nair would have been the Olympic diver.
Oh, wow.
And I think there was one more.
I believe so,
I don't remember names or anything.
So
But-
that pool's deep enough to dive in.
Oh, it's 12 feet deep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The diving boards have been removed, thank goodness. That would have stressed me out to no end, you know.
Yeah, they used to do scuba classes there
Yeah,
too.
we've
so-
tried to get that going again. We're kind of working on that right now at the moment.
Oh, I'd be interested in that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to get good
Yeah.
instructors. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been asked to become an instructor, but
Oh, really? Are you an instructor?
no.
Did you dive?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I've been diving.
You ought to get-
I've been diving. What is it? 30 plus years now.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah, I started just shortly after we got married, so it'll be 30 years. That's
yeah,
how long
I'm
I've been
just.
diving.
I think honestly, I think I'm one class
you
or
do that?
something
We would
from being a
love-
dive master.
Oh,
So
do it.
Yeah,
There you
do
go.
it,
There's
do
your another
it.
job. You got another job. Every time
I gotta-
Zach is now swimming, you can do.
I've got
love-
enough jobs.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could get in there and teach some classes for us.
That might be my retirement
There you go.
hobby, occupation. But yeah, just with the swim team, like I said,
Oh.
kids from age 7 and up can join the swim team. Zach was taking swim lessons and kind of got recruited into it when he was, I think that one was 8 years old, and he's loved it ever since. And he's become, it's remarkable. The kid can swim.
I need
like
to go
no
watch
others.
him. I didn't realize he was swimming. You should have told me.
Oh yeah, no, he swims all 4 strokes, the medley. And what's amazing is the program's so good. I didn't realize because all these different Ys they'll get together and compete with each other, but the level of competition that they have is amazing. And even though Ashland, I mean, as Ys go, we're a small Y, so our team's not as big as the other. But when you look at the quality of the swimmers, our swimmers are competing with the best in the state, and we've had quite a few go on with college scholarships and
Reese
such.
Pennington,
Yeah.
Kenzie's brother.
Kinsey,
Really good swimmer.
JJ Holmes,
Yeah.
Calix Holmes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, they all went on to. I think JJ went on to the University of Louisville.
Yep, he did.
And so yeah, we've had some great programs there, and the quality of the coaching and the quality of the swimming, and it's a great activity. I mean, it's fun watching the little 7 and 8 year olds
It
compete.
is.
I mean, you're kind of they have that attention span of a 7 or 8 year olds. You got to kind of keep it's like herding cats sometimes, but it's just fun to watch them swim, and then they get into it, and you really understand how competitive and how good they are when a lot of these kids, they turn 12, 13 years old, they get in seventh grade. Well, now they can compete for the high school, which
Right.
Zach is a seventh grader, and a couple of his friends, they went to compete for their schools, because they all come from
Right.
different schools. So that's the bad part about high school season. You're kind of competing against your teammates all of a sudden. But when they get into the high school level, I mean, I've got a 13-year-old son that's in seventh grade that's out there beating seniors
Wow.
and
That's
keeping up
great.
with them. And just, it's amazing, because
That's
once they got
awesome.
into the high school, these kids, because some of them swim every day, sometimes twice a day. And they take it very seriously.
Yes, they do.
A lot of people don't know, but we host the state swim meet every
Yes.
Yeah,
do.
that's what I was getting ready to say. We host the
March.
state swim meet every year, and everybody wants to come here because, well, our pool's bigger than most. Not just the pool itself. I mean, all the pools
Yeah,
are the
you can
same
accommodate
size.
a lot of people.
We
in
have a
the
bigger
gym.
deck. We can accommodate more. Plus, it's connected to the gym, and you can spread out a lot more. And they've kind of restructured in the last few years, which they've done some genius things there. But instead of us trying to man a concession stand, which was a lot of work, now we bring in food trucks.
That was the best idea.
Yeah,
that we came up with.
that was. Well, they brought in food trucks one year, and everybody comes from Lexington, Louisville, all
Yes.
over the state, and they loved that. And now Coffee Dock, this was kind of the first year, and then the Y has their little convenience
Y
store
Mart,
down
we
there, the
call
Y
it.
Mart. So they got to take advantage of those facilities. And now it's just, everybody loves it.
Yeah.
And now with the other stuff going on in the area, you're bringing your kids in here, and if anybody's been involved in travel sports or anything like that, you can't play all day long. And once you're done, you got to entertain the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got Malibu Jacks and everything going on out at Camp Landing and here in Ashland. So
Well, just I have a friend from Louisville who brought his daughter in to compete in the states swim meet, and his thing was he couldn't find a hotel room.
Yeah.
Very impressed with the Y.
Yeah.
Could not find a hotel room, so we need hotels. I know we've said this on
We
this
do,
podcast
really do,
before,
yeah.
but really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when something large like that comes to the area. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and you don't understand how many people actually come in for that. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
the Y's closed for the entire weekend, and that parking lot is full. The auxiliary parking lot's full, and the Y's packed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a
We probably upset some members, but they typically seem to understand because we've done it
Yeah.
for so long. So it's just one weekend.
Exactly. It's an important weekend. I
Yeah,
mean, you bring
nobody's
people
been in my
in.
office yelling at me yet. So
There you go. That's good.
yeah. I mean, and it generates a lot of revenue for the area
Yeah.
because you do have a lot of people coming in, eating in restaurants and
Right.
staying at hotel rooms.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
yeah,
Yes.
And trust me, I don't want to go have to stay in hotel rooms. I'd rather have it
neither.
here at home.
You're right. I mean, our local kids probably don't like it, but
Their parents do.
Yeah,
Trust
I'm sure
me.
they do.
Even
yeah.
though we don't. Well, you don't have to work nearly as much as we don't now that we don't have the concession stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I had to do last.
Well, even admission gate, we've solved that little problem too.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Y man's all that. The Y has stepped up a lot, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, and this I
Yeah.
would contribute and thank Scott for. But the Y stepped up, and the parents don't have to man gates and doors anymore and run concession stands.
Right.
We still do have to do some volunteer work and
Yeah.
things. Like I got to stand at the end of the pool and hand out candy to the winner of every heat. So. But I'll do that for 2 hours instead
Yeah.
of standing in that concession stand for 2 hours. But yeah, it is. I mean, not to dwell on about the swim team.
Yeah.
But it is really a hidden jewel, and if you got a kid that just wants to get some exercise, I mean, there's no pressure. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. And while they're exercising, you can come and exercise yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I say.
Exactly. Yeah.
or sit there on the deck
for
and
the
just
whole
watch them
family.
swim
Yeah.
back and forth.
Or go drink coffee downstairs.
There you
Exactly.
are. There you are. So, what does the future hold for you?
Well, I just hope to continue, helping the community. My big goal is to partner with, as many local community people as we can. I know my good friend Marshall Tyson is the United Way director, so we're working on some things together. We're getting ready to start talk about things. So just bringing the Y into the community. You don't have to come to the Y to be part of the Y.
Right.
So just want to help kids and help kids have a safe place to come and a good place to work.
I
don't pay
love-
much, but
No.
it's a great place to work.
But I tell you, I love how God has put that on your heart
Yeah.
since you were young, very,
Yeah.
very young.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
He definitely prepared me for the moment to be running the YMCA. You know,
Right.
so, and Satan hasn't. He has not liked it. He's he's tried to attack me, but we're not going to let him to win.
Right.
This is the YMCA is the communities, and it's I've asked God to be there and stay there. So as long as I'm there, that's what's going to happen.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I think everybody should thank you because since you've taken over the transformation of the Y, it's so much nicer than it used to be.
Thank
and
you.
I really need to get down there and check out some of the new improvements. It's just been a while.
Yeah.
Say I need to go. I've got Zach's number, Zach Adkins. So I've got his number.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend. Well, any of them, but he's a fantastic person.
Yeah. Yeah. Very friendly,
very
very personal.
knowledgeable, down to the nutrition part of it.
Yeah.
So
He says he's intense too.
yeah.
I said, I want somebody that'll push me. He said, oh, I'll
Yeah.
push you.
Well, go to
Okay.
go to some of our classes. There's some
Yeah.
Tracy Hillman.
I used to.
With Hillman Griffith
Yeah.
Delaney, he does a boot camp in the mornings.
Oh my.
5:30 in the morning. Andrew Jones and a few of those guys come, and he puts them through it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But there's others. We have really good instructors that can push you. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Excellent. Well, I guess it's about time to start wrapping this one up as I look at the clock
has
on
been
the
wonderful.
recording system here. So, Scott, we'd like to thank you for coming in.
Yes.
Thank
I
you
know
for
this
having
is,
me. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the one thing we try to do with the podcast is get the different aspects of the community out there, what's going on, and the Y is definitely a centerpiece of our community here in the Ashland area.
Yeah.
One last thing. Good luck with the wedding coming up.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
Peyton, she is so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Inside and out. Love
Yeah,
that kid. Love all
she's a
three
good
of yours.
girl. Yeah. And he's a nice young man too.
Good.
So
And he's in the Army?
he's a Marine.
He's a Marine,
Yeah,
yes.
he's actually in officer school at UK right now.
Oh, wow.
He wants to be a pilot. So
Well, thank him for for
Yeah,
his service.
I will.
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you.
All right. So, again, thanks, Scott, for coming in. It's time to wrap up another wonderful episode of Appalachian Treasures and Dreams. So, on behalf of myself and Christie, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping in. We appreciate your support. The one thing Christie and I have been talking about is how much the podcast has been growing over the last few weeks, and we are now international on a scale I never thought we would be.
The
on.
Czech Republic.
Yeah, the Czech Republic, Germany,
know.
Mexico,
Wow.
Canada.
Now Japan is my bonus daughter, so that's Ambrosia McKenzie. So I know that's where that one came from. I think anyway. I think she's listened to it. So.
Yeah, so it's amazing. I still have
Yeah.
not figured out the Czech Republic yet.
That's
so,
pretty awesome.
But hopefully they enjoyed it and learned a little bit.
so.
So we're going to go ahead and close this out and everything. And as we like to leave you with on our way out the door, Christie.
Everyone, come live our Appalachian treasures and dreams.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.